the recall election just 1 week away, we wanted to dig deeper into the makeup of voters and examine the patterns of past elections. 23 ABC's Maithili Gubi uses data from the Secretary of State's office to take an in-depth look into the backgrounds of voters here in Kern County. Maithili.
According to Kern County elections website, there's been an increase in voter registration so far this year. As of July, data shows about 46,000 people have registered to vote, bringing the total number of registered voters here to about 438,000 voters.
That more people are registering to vote, right? I think we have much more concerted efforts by nonprofit organizations on the ground, like the Dolores Huerta Foundation. You have a lot of mobilization also coming from the Democratic Women of Kern.
23 ABC political analyst Ivy Cargyle with CSUB says grassroots mobilization of voters across the county has led to the increase in registrations. We looked back at voter registration data going to the 2008 election from the California Secretary of State's website. It shows in the past decade, registration has increased about 20%. In 2008, voter registration was about 66%. Currently, about 83% of the eligible voting population is registered to vote here in Kern County. That compares to about 89% of eligible voters registered across the state of California. As for a breakdown of registrations by political party, the county still has a majority of Republican voters. But between 2008 and this year, as you can see, the percentage of Republican registered voters steadily decreased from about 45% to about 37%. The percentage of Democratic voters hasn't changed much from 2008 to this year. It's dipped slightly from 36% to 34%. Meanwhile, voters with no party preference increased in the last 13 years by 6%, going from 15% up to 21% this year. But by 2018, the difference between both parties was less than 2%. And since then, both the Democrats and the GOP have remained steady.
With the 2016 election, I think people were your potential voters were awakened to possibly a government that either they did agree with or that they did not agree with, and so got registered and actually showed up to the voting booth on election day for the midterm and even for the 2020 presidential election. And so now the hope is that people will also lend their voice on the 14th for the recall election.
Last night, we broke down voting patterns of voters in Kern County in gubernatorial elections. We found that although the majority of voters across the county have been voting for the Republican candidate for governor since 1998, that gap is shrinking, with more votes going to the Democratic candidate as well. You can find this story at our website and continue to follow our coverage of the recall election at our website at turnto23.com. Live in the studio, I'm Maithili Gubi, 23 ABC. Connecting you.